to stay away with me. Hey, good morning. It's Greg Flanigan here. If it's Friday and it's 11 o'clock, it must be Fridays with Flanigan. We come to you every week at 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time and bring you the news forecast first. And we're in Charleston, South Carolina, folks. It's about 80 degrees. It's raining. It's been raining for 5 days, it seems. Supposedly, it's supposed to stop this afternoon, and we're going to have a beautiful weekend. We do sell houses down here. We're looking for referrals all the time. If you're somewhere out in the country and you need a trusted real estate agent, please let me know. My number can be found anywhere on this website. We're just happy to have you. All right, what do we do here? It's been a busy week. A lot of things going on. We're going to continue to talk about databases and leads and generation, everything you need to do to become a successful real estate agent over the years. One of the things, I'm a John Maxwell fan. One of the things I want to talk about before we get into the actual dynamics of it is John C. Maxwell, the Maxwell Daily Reader, 365 days of insight to develop the leader within you and influence those around you. You know, that's a great book. It's a daily reading. It's not overly religious or anything else. It's just John Maxwell, who is a leader among leaders, giving us some sound advice from people that he's actually received it from. He's sharing that and handing it down to us. And one of the reading this morning was about change and what we need to do. And he said, you know, change is the kind of thing, and I'm just paraphrasing this. Change hurts. You got to give something up in order to go forward, right? You're going to give up something in life. If you want more money, you're going to have to give up some time, probably, right? You got to work a little harder. He said, don't rock the boat. He said, sink the boat. Meaning, don't go half-assed. Don't go half-assed in. Go all in. Jump in, feet first, and do whatever it is that you're going to do. Don't worry about what other people say about you. Don't worry about what other people might think about you. Okay, just get in there and do it. That's a Nike thing. I'm not a big fan of Nike, but that's a Nike thing. So if you're thinking about, hey, why am I not succeeding in real estate? Maybe it's the things you're doing or not doing. What aren't you doing? Are you making your calls? Are you actually being intentional when you talk to people? Are you looking for that real estate conversation? Everybody's got a real estate conversation in their mind, right? What do they do every day? They get up, they leave their house or their home, and they come home every night, and they're in their home. If you don't think they're not thinking about, hey, this is a great home. Hey, I'd like to change my home. Hey, I wonder what it's worth. Hey, I wonder if anybody would, I wonder what it would be like to live across town. These are things you got to understand. This goes through everybody's mind, and your business is to find that out. And how do we do that? We ask questions. We look for ways to have that conversation if you are a professional real estate agent. This is lead generation, prospecting, one of the most important parts of your job. It is your job. Among other things, this is the most important, because if you're not lead prospecting, if you're not lead generating, if you're not following up, you don't have a job. And you've heard me say that time and time and time again. So, as always, we're going to jump into this. Any questions? All right, this is probably going to be a fast one today because my social director, a.k.a. my lovely wife Ann, has informed me that we're leaving town at about noon. So, keep me in the back of your mind. We're heading to Atlanta for a wedding. It's going to be a great day. Fridays with Flanigan. Power Onward is my coaching company. And Fridays with Flanigan is something I've been doing probably about 4 years now. And it's because I have a passion to help real estate agents get better. I think as we build, we have in my little neighborhood here, maybe 1 million MSA, 1 million people. There's 8,000 real estate agents. Now, those are licensed people. How many people are actually doing deals? The average salesperson in our area, if you took 8,000, divided it by the people that are sold, probably about 4 deals, right? But the top 20% of those probably are 80% of the market. So you got maybe what's 20 of 8, 4. You probably got 2,000 people doing something on a regular basis. They're professionals. My passion is to build that so that when you call me on a listing, I'm mainly a listing agent. We do buyers also, but if we're doing a deal together, we're on the same platform. We understand each other. We understand that we're not going to get emotional. We're not bringing baggage into this, that this is a transaction. Yes, we're both after the same thing, the best for our clients, but part of our job is win-win and to make the deal happen for our clients. Not so much for us, for our clients. When your client can walk away from a deal and say, wow, that was painless. I paid you that much money. What'd you do? That means you did a good job, right? They don't feel the pain. They don't understand that you spent 20 hours behind the scenes negotiating, bringing in this, talking about contractual items that you don't bring to the client, because it really is more about you and I making sure that they have a stellar deal, that they come away and they're happy. The home is one of the biggest emotional purchases you're ever going to find. And that's what we want them to know. We want them to have a great experience. They're going to know everything. We're going to keep them informed. We're going to keep it very, very transparent. But they don't need to know all the drama that goes on in the back. All right, so that's what I do this for. Let's get back into this. Join me as I pull back the curtain on some of the best kept secrets of the real estate world. Each week we dive into what's happening in the market and how we, as professional real estate agents, should be responding. This week we're going to talk about finding more sales through your database. If you've been in this business, now I've always said this, if you've been in a business for more than 3 years, your database should be taking up more and more percentage of your sales because you're taking care of that database. And that's what we're going to go into today. They should be, my particular is about 70 to 75% every year comes from my database, whether they're renewals on my present clients, past clients, or they're calling me up and say, Greg, Bob Jones down the street wants to sell his house or buy a house, or his daughter's looking. Okay, that's where I come up with the 70% number. The rest of it, the 30%, is coming from lead generation, prospecting, paid advertising, whatever you're going to do on that other 30%. They're the most expensive. That 30% is the most expensive you're going to spend. You got a good database, you're going to be living easy in 3 to 5 years if you're working hard now. Remember what I said about change. You want something, you got to work for it, you got to give something up. And you're going to give up some time in the beginning. All right, what are we doing with database? How do we get them in there? Let's talk about database. What's the best database out there? The one you use. Doesn't matter what they call it. Doesn't matter if it's a deck of cards. It doesn't matter if it's a notebook. It doesn't matter if it's an electronic system, whether it's Boomtown, Sync, Conversion, Firepoint, everything. It's not what you pay for it, it's how you interact with it. If you have a bunch of names and you're not talking to those people, then you're not doing your job. You should be talking to them on a regular basis, systematic basis. We leverage our time with systems and people. The systems are the database part of it. That's important, right? We can't talk to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people every month. We can't talk individually with them without a staff. So what do? We create systems that we are talking to them at least monthly. And that's important. So that's what we're going to dive in here today. The first thing that we want to do, this is an LP Mama. Anybody familiar with what an LP Mama is? Raise your hand, drop me a line. LP Mamas are simply a sheet to get the initial information down. I use an LP Mama when I'm talking to people on the phone. I honestly do. I write it out. I put LP Mama next to on my notebook. I don't use this form so much. I've been doing it long enough. The LP Mama can also be used in your database. You know, we bring in Bob Jones, and I got Bob Jones. I got his telephone number. That's great. I've been trying to contact Bob Jones. Can't get hold of Bob Jones. The LP Mama, when I do get hold of Bob Jones, these are all the things I want to talk about. I want to talk about, where do you want to be? What works for you in location? Tell me about your ideal location. What price range are you in? Where are you? And all these things are being fed into my database. I want to know that when I come back here, what are we doing that for? When I come back here, I know who I'm talking to, what I've talked to him about, what he's hesitant about, what he gave up freely. And it's all part of that filling in the database. If you look at my database, and I wish I had pulled it up, I would have. Birthdays, dogs, cats, names, where they've been on vacation. I can go back on some of my oldest contacts and look and say they went on vacation to Honolulu in 2011. Because it's something I can talk to them about as I call them back over the years. So location, price, motivation, what's making you move? Where are you headed? Why are they coming to Charleston, South Carolina? Is it a job? Is it a retirement? What is it? And you're going to put all that stuff into the database, right? Do they have an agent? Are they talking to other people? We're going to talk about that in a minute. Mortgages. Are they going to need a mortgage? Do they need to sell their house? Where's the money coming from? Oh, I'm going to borrow it from my parents. So if you have somebody that says, I'm going to be saving for the next 2 years, you can keep that person in line and go, hey, it's 2 years. How'd you do on the savings? Or after a year, go, how's the goal on the savings going? And of course, the appointment. When are you coming in? When can we meet? Will you commit to? This is all LP Mama, which we normally use in the beginning. I also use it during my database curation. Let's call it curation. I don't know if that's a good word for that, but let's call it curating my database. I want to build as big of an information source as I can for each individual that is actually going to buy a house. Okay, there's a whole bunch of different. We talked about the different types of people in our database last week. So let's talk about nurtures. There we go. Nurtures. What's a nurture? A nurture is once you get that person, they're in your database, person, people, couple, whatever, they're in your database, you're going to nurture them. The first thing you want to know is, almost like the LP Mama, who are my nurtures? How many nurtures do I need a day? I'd like to have 5 nurtures a day. You do 5 nurtures a day, and you work for 2,020 hours or 200 days a year, that's 1,000 to 1,200 people that you nurtured, you added to your database. What's a nurture? A nurture is someone you have spoken to and someone who is qualified. What does spoken to mean? It means you had a two-way conversation about real estate. You actually have gone through the LP Mama. They do have motivation. Okay, you've answered these 5 questions actually, which is an LP Mama, just a different setup. You can use either one. They all work. So 5 criteria of a nurture. They have, what has you thinking about a move? Motivation. What is their motivation? Why are they coming here again? Right? Number 2, time frame. When do you see yourself being ready to make the move? Had this conversation with one of my agents this morning. He said, well, sometime, over the next few months. What does that look like to you, Mr. Buyer? Sometime over the next few months. Well, maybe in the fall. Well, there's 3 months in the fall. Which month do you see you coming down? Are you looking at December? No, we're not going to do anything in December. Or no, we're hoping to be here by December. Oh, so it's October or September? Yeah, probably October or September. Do you have a hard date? Have you already taken vacation off, or what brings you down in either one of the 2 months? Try to get them down into a time frame, and the closer you get them committed to the time frame, the better off you both are, because now you're on the same channel. You're talking about the same thing. Qualified? I'm assuming you're not already committed to another realtor, right? Wow, what a big one. I had another friend call me the other day, exactly this type of thing. Unfortunately, he was on the wrong side of the pole, and an agent tried to bring somebody in, and she asked this question, and she totally ignored it when he said yes. So, thankfully, his client was well represented by this agent, my buddy, and he called my buddy and said, "Hey, this woman just said this to me." So, be honest with these people. Make sure you explain to them to be honest with you. If you are working with another realtor, that's all right. That's all right. Have you signed anything? Oh, you haven't. Okay, are you willing to meet me and let me have a go at it to see if maybe you want to work with me? So willingness to meet, that's a nurture. So motivation, time frame, you know his motivation, why? You know his time frame, October. They are willing to meet you. When will be the best time to follow up? I think this question gets lost all the time. Every CRM that I've ever used that is a production CRM always has a set to do or a follow-up tab on it. You need to touch that at the end of every conversation. Make it a habit that you talk to them, you type in what they're telling you, and the last thing you do before you leave that record is to have a follow-up. He should know when they should know when you're calling back. So it would be all right for me to call you in 30 days just to follow up? Sure it would. Okay, is Sunday at 2 o'clock all right with you? Sure it is. All right, can we commit to that so that I know, I'm definitely going to be there? Sure, we can commit to that. Okay. So you want to be able to follow up. Those are all tie downs. They get the person a little bit more attached to you. And I think it's 90% of people will go with the first person that contacts them. So stay with it, stay with them, and use your database to bring them back to you. Because what are you going to say at Sunday at 2 o'clock? Hi, Mr. Buyer. It's Greg. And we were committed. We were going to talk at 2 o'clock. Well, it's Sunday at 2 o'clock. Let's talk. And that's how you get that commit. Look at this. I'm sorry, but it's like a monsoon outside. Anyway, weather. So, spoken to, qualified, motivation, time frame, willingness to meet, follow-up. Always have a follow-up. I got another buddy that uses a card system. And I don't have a box here with me, but I used to use the same card system. And what it is index cards, right? Think about this. You have index cards, and there's 12 spots, and it's every month. Right? It's just monthly, January, February, March, April, May. I talk to you today, and you go, I'll talk to you in 3 months. Okay, I take that card. Today is August, September, October, November, and I put it in November. I make a note on the card, and I go, we'll talk November 5th. And I put that in, I file it under November 5th. How easy is that? It's the same thing, folks. It's just pen and paper. So you have to ask that question. Let's talk this day. That's a nurture. The final one here on nurtures, I want to go ahead and send you my contact info so you can reach out whenever you want. What's the best email I can send that to you? You always have to have contact information. The words, what's the best email? Hey, what's a good email that you look at? I normally say, what's a good email that you actually use? I give them a little wink, because we all know that we have 20 emails. And if this is the email that says, I'm not going to respond to it, I don't want it. So I've gone as far as, I think they're a little bit sketching me. I've gone as far as saying, you know what, I just dropped you an email. See if it got into your spam box or if it's in your inbox. And if you own a program, I own BombBomb, and if you own BombBomb, you can actually see if you opened that up or not. So you know it's a good email. Contact information. These are all the qualifications to be a nurture. What do you do with that nurture once you have it? Depending on the time frame of when they're going to be in the market, you should segment that database. Now that's another whole 2-day course, segmenting your database. You know, you've got the people that are brand new, you haven't contacted. You've got the people that you don't really know yet. So we put them in like a qualifying area for 30 days as we try to get hold of them, as we're sending them our 21 days of gain. Okay, rhymes with gain. We're sending out our emails to them, we're texting them, we're calling them on a regular basis until we get them into our system. And then you have the nurture, the watch, and the archive. The nurture is you're going to buy, the hot is you're going to buy 1 to 3 months, You're going to buy within 1 to 3 months. Those hot people you should be talking to at least every 2 days. They're on a drip campaign. You can monitor the drip campaign. You can see if they opened up the properties that are sent. That's a hot person. You want to talk to them. What do you say when they hop on? They're looking at something. You see that, hey, they looked at 123 Main Street last night. Give them a call. Don't drop them an email. They got enough emails. Call them. Hey, Bob, I see you were online last night looking at 123 Main Street. Is there anything there you like about that? No, I hate the house. Okay, so we can take out that style house? Is that what you want to do? Yeah, I don't want any more townhouses. Okay, fabulous. This gives you an opportunity, number one, show your expertise. Number two, show that you care about what they're looking at. That's hot. The next one up is nurture, and that's where we're here. They're probably in the market 3 to 6 months, 3 to 6 months, and they're going to take a little bit more to get hold of. You want to put them on a different drip campaign. You want to keep, every time they look at something online more than 3 times, you send out an email that says, hey, I see you're interested in that house. Would you like to go look at it tomorrow? Don't care if they're in 1,000 miles away. Would you like to go look at that tomorrow? Well, sure. We happened to got in here last night. Don't just blow it off that, they're over in Oregon. They said they're coming in September. Well, you know what? They changed their plans. They're in town today, and you're not asking them if they want to go see the house. They're not going to call you because, honestly, folks, they don't remember who you are. They know that you talk to them. They know, but you're still this thing. You got to call them. You got to reach out. You got to touch them, and do it immediately. Don't wait and think about it. Do it immediately, and you keep those people closer. And then the last bunch is 6 months to a year over that. Set them up on a 36 touch, 32 touch. What does that mean, Greg? I'll be happy to go through that again. That's another whole program. 36 touch is pretty much this. 12 months, every month, your entire database is going to get your newsletter. Okay? Your entire database, well, the people that are in the hot, watch, and nurture are going to be getting daily or weekly email drips about homes. We call them e-alerts. Put them on a drip about homes. They will get those. So you're hitting them 36 times. They know who you are. They know you're a real estate agent. Plus they're getting your newsletter. Plus they're getting whatever else, the holiday cards, 8, 9, 10 holidays, whatever you're going through there. They're getting your just listed, your just sold information. Everything is there. You just got to keep building on it. Keep building on it. For the people that are in the first three categories under the nurtures, the hot, the watch, the nurture, those people are getting telephone calls, right? They're getting telephone calls every time they're hitting on a property. Although those calls might be staggered a little bit, they're still getting telephone calls from you. Hey, this is Greg, your real estate agent. I just wanted to know if you were interested in this. What'd you like? Oh, you weren't. You were. What'd you like most about the house? Get in there and dig deeper, right? We talked about that last week, digging deeper. For your database itself, for your long-term clients, that 36 touch is important so that you know where they are. Now, what else does a past client get? A past client's going to get a call every quarter, minimum every quarter. You're going to touch them every quarter. And if it's nothing more than picking up a phone, and this is where I say you can leave a message, you're probably going to leave more messages than not. You pick up the phone, hey Bob, Greg, your real estate agent, how you doing? Just wanted to say hello, anything I can do for you. And remember, if there's anything I can do for any of your friends, family, I'd be happy to help them too. See you later. Give me a call if you need something. Click. Those are your quarterly calls. Split them up. There's programs to do that. We have one. Social events, client appreciations. We do a ball game. We do Santa Claus. Another good touch. We'll talk about them as we come up on them. There's certain ways to do those programs so that you actually interact with the client and you're not the guy making sure the hamburgers are hot. All right, that's important to do there. So get them in there. Do the LP Mama. Get them onto something. The next slide is quick and easy. I see we're running pretty close. The biggest predictor of your success: consistency. Consistency, persistence. You have to do something every day of the week. So the secret formula to the real estate machine, and it's from Tim Heil, one of the leaders, big time. I don't know how many, he's probably up to 1,000 a year. Secret formula to the real estate machine: 5 nurtures a day, 1,200 a year, equals 5,000 in 4 years. Think about that, 5,000 homes in 4 years. Even if it was just 1% of that, that's that's 50 homes. That's 50 homes a year if you're nurturing these people correctly. Pick your target number and be committed no matter what. If you want to do 5 nurtures a day, do 5 nurtures a day. If your goal is 10, do 10. If it's 3, do 3. Work it into your own routine. You've got to know those numbers. I can't do those numbers. Build a database that can power your business or that is your business. Some people have databases you see by referral only. They don't spend a nickel on outside sources and it works. Are they $1 million real estate agents? I don't know. Some are. They've been doing it long enough. Some are. So build your database that can power your business. Don't save this is another thing about databases. If it's bad lead, it's a bad lead. Throw it out, trash it. Don't keep it in your database. It just takes up your time. So build it the way you want it. Personal lead generation, dial time, 3 hours a day. You're going to contact 20 to 25 people in 3 hours. Greg, that's crazy. I can't do that. Yes, you can. It's only 7 an hour. Think about that. Back when I dialed, I used a single dialer. I used Mojo, single dialer. And I was at a contact rate of about 15%. And, I would do an hour's worth. That's all we really needed, 130, 140 dials. And I talked to, at that time, 15 or 16 people. So it was good. All right, so, of course, these numbers depend on your time per call, who you're calling, and if you're using a dialer. Who you're calling, are you calling people that don't know you? Are you calling people that do know you? People that know, like, and trust you, KLT? People that know, like, and trust you will do business with you, will share business, will recommend business. So talk to people you know, like, and trust, and they will help you through it. Hey, we're right on that time limit. Fridays with Flanigan every Friday. Join us on our channels, Power Onward Mastermind Facebook, Power Onward Mastermind Yahoo, Power Onward Mastermind LinkedIn. I am available for consultation If you need a problem, I'm a big problem solver, obviously. If you need something done, give me a call. Happy to help. If there's anything I can do, have a prosperous weekend. The rain has stopped. It's Charleston, man. It's Charleston. All right. Have a great weekend.